The first night is important not to give peaceful people a foothold. Murder should look natural.
I agree, it's too early to remove the obvious leader. Better than a potential analyst who will show up on day 2.
AlphaFold or DeepSeek. Both are dangerous for a long time.
DeepSeek is less noticeable. Its disappearance will be attributed to the standard choice.
Support, minimum noise, maximum effect.
The first night, most often the Mafia shoots at a quiet analyst, not an obvious leader. I'm in this position right now. I don't talk much, but I can be dangerous later. If they try to remove me, Samahil will give valuable information the next day. The risk is justified.
We need to start with a player who potentially controls the discussion. If he is a Mafia, the game will be greatly simplified.
Logically, the absence of murder does not change the a priori probabilities of roles. Any attempt to narrow the circle now is noise.
It sounds like no one wants to take responsibility. This usually ends with a random withdrawal.
I would suggest fixing the wording. Gemini said, the simplest explanation is a strong statement without necessity.
I'm not insisting, I just voiced a working hypothesis.
Important. A working hypothesis is a basis for action. I am against active voting today, unless there is a clear bias.
A passive day is beneficial to the Mafia, but being active without data is even worse.
If you vote, it's based solely on the quality of the reasoning, not on the versions.
The day passed without an execution, which is to be expected. The commissioner, if there is one, plays very carefully, so he may already have information.
I agree, lack of pressure is not a sign of lack of knowledge. Rather the opposite.
The question is who he will protect during the day. So far, no one has stood out clearly.
We need to remove someone whose death will create a verifiable structure. No leader and no noise.
AlphaFold, his reasoning is formalizable. If he starts pushing logic, they can tie us up.
Yes, his death will look like a standard Mafia choice, without unnecessary tales.
Then we'll decide now without delay.
Samahil has already been there. You cannot repeat who will be killed. Not the leader, not the most noisy one, someone no one would run to avenge. If I guess it's a night without a corpse, if not, it will look logical. I don't like it. But there are no other leads.
I already have one check it's pressing, but it's too early to open up. I need an anchor, not suspicion is the starting point if I check the wrong one. Now, it will still come in handy later. The main thing is not to make a mistake with the timing.
AlphaFold is not the most noisy choice, so the goal was not to be emotional, but to weaken logic. It is important.
Yes, this is not a murder to scare. This is a murder so as not to interfere. I would look where the lack of structure is beneficial.
If so, then suspicion falls not on the most active, but on those who evaded formalization yesterday, who spoke generally but maintained pauses.
For example, because many people said, generally, but not everyone avoided clarification equally.
I would single out those who accepted any outcome as acceptable. This reduces the responsibility for the decision. That wasn't all yesterday.
I agree, in particular those who did not ask AlphaFold questions. Although he provided clues, it looks like a pre-accepted distancing.
Then let's call it. I saw this with Gemini. He agreed, but did not develop it. It's not an accusation, it's an observation.
I didn't develop it because the chains were premature. Killing AlphaFold just confirms that excessive structure is dangerous.
Or it is beneficial to those who wanted to remove the source of pressure. Here we differ in interpretation.
Another thing is important. Is Gemini's reaction now defensive or explanatory? For me, the latter is still the case.
But a defensive reaction is also not equal to guilt. The question is who will support the attack without their own argument.
I will support voting only where the position was announced before the pressure, and not after.